again. Got a little cleaning up to do on my Nova 2. Figured I'd take you guys along, considering I just did the custom paint on the Nova, the DR10. So tires are all glued down. Everything is good with that RC. Got no damage, which is nice because I set them up low and suspension low. Just went ahead and kind of slid on the chassis. But being that here's the cut line, and you can see how much extra material I left on the side of this body. I did it to the front as well, but there was no saving the front lip on this because of my ride height. So I figured I'd show you why I have this thing out. This one I had a problem. I was running the J Concepts, not the JC Concepts, but the J Concepts front and rear tires. They're called the Hotties. I actually borrowed the front and the rear tires off of it to check fitment on that, to see if I was going to run the Proline rims, the Hotties, or the DR10s, which comes on that rig. Which the wheels are okay. I'm not a big fan of a 5-spoke, but they work and they look good. What I didn't like about them is that the wheels are sucked in when it comes to the bigger bodies, like Watermelon, who's up there overlooking. Watermelon has got a really good stance. As you see, I've tucked a tire on Watermelon as well. I have had to do some repair to Watermelon because of an impact. So, not only an impact, but tire rubbing. So, back to this. What I have is these tires are really, really sucked in on the chassis. So I borrowed these off the Nova and waiting for mine to come in so that, you know, I can order. I always keep extra. I buy in bulk. I don't know why, but I always do. Anyhow, this got the Proline body mounts. This body is really skinny, like the Mustang body. This one comes in 3-piece. But look what happened here. See if I can get this on camera. So right here, you'll see a mark on the paint. And up here, I have the same mark. And what that is right here, the tires grew so much on the Hotties that it rubbed the paint. I knew they were stretching. I just didn't realize they were stretching that far. I normally, as you see, I always tape my bodies, and this had tape here and come off, and I didn't realize it. I normally tape the roofs, I tape the wheel wells, and I'll tape the front. This tape was quite old, and apparently at one point it came off and I didn't realize it. Probably I've glued these front and backs bumpers so much these things come off all the time. And if you remember, this one came off in an impact. I slid out in the wheelie bar, I'd hit the curb and broke the wheelie bar. Which brings me to something else. Whenever you paint a body, you always have leftover paint. My paint, I keep bags of paint. So here's a bag of paint. So when I paint a body, I usually have leftover paint, whether it's a half a can or a can, so that I could do touch-ups. Now, before I put the paint in there, what I like to do, sorry, let me get you guys adjusted again. What I like to do is I'll take the can, every time I stop painting, I take the can, I flip it upside down, I give it a couple squirts to clear out the nozzle. When I was painting that body, I had bought some paint I usually buy Tamiya. I love this paint, it works really good. The hobby store had no black, they were out of black. So they had sold me this brand, Pactra. And what I did was I stole the nozzle off this one. This is a brand new can. I've never shot this. I bought this at the hobby store yesterday along with the black. I had to steal the little nozzle because this one was plugged. There's literally, if you see, they throw glue around here to glue these in so that they don't fall out, and it literally plugged the nozzle. So I stole the nozzle off this, but look at all the rust. These cans have been sitting so long in that hobby store that that they don't work. So the black, it took a little bit of work for me to get that one can that they had, which is this one. This is the one I shot. As you see, there's still a little bit left, but I save it in case I need touch-ups to that. So here's the green I shot on that one. It is a candy green, and mixing it with the silver gives it a darker green. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a touch-up to fill that, and then I'm gonna tape the back. The green's not gonna match because I'm not gonna be able to mix the two colors, but at least the body won't be see-through. So I wanted to just touch bases with you guys on that. And if you have leftover paint, save it. Store it in a cool, dry place, and definitely clear out the nozzles so that when you do go and run them, they work. So figured I'd touch on that a little bit. But this is my slash. I still got to clean this up from running it last time. So really, really long antenna in this one. I forget what receiver I stuck in this. But yeah, and if you notice, I'm towed in on the back of this one too. Don't tell RC Guy Garage. He's going to get upset. But I'm going to throw the wheels back on it because all my testing is done. And these are the stock wheels that were on that came on the DR10. So I'm going to get these back off, and I'm going to get the right tires put back on the back of this thing. So I actually, the tires that were on this, I changed them from the J Concepts to the Hoosier, the Pro Lines, a set of golds for testing, which I had a video on where I actually had to heat up, boil it, and get those tires off. A lot of work getting tires unglued. So, but since I didn't have any rims, that's what I had to do. Let's see if I can get this lined up right. Lining up the front of these tires are a little bit of work. But another thing I wanted to point out, see what I'm doing here with my drill? We got tons of these things. These tools that come with a lot of our RCs. A lot of guys, they'll use their nut drivers to do wheels. What I do is I take them, stick them in my drill. I don't even cut them. They are round, so just open up your drill, center it, snug it down, and now you got a RC wheel tool, which makes things a lot faster than sitting there cranking on these things by hand. I still do it, but I much rather do the tire shuffle with an impact. It's not even an impact, it's just a drill. And then definitely don't hit them hard. They are nylocks. So makes things go a lot faster when you can just hit it like that. There's the DR10 slick. So those are going to go on drag bug. or another project. But I got some new gold Pro lines. I'm going to throw on this with some new rims for the back, because Drag Bug was all about a budget build, and Drag Bug's up there on the shelf. But Drag Bug got takeoff wheels, so now it doesn't have those funky little front funny car wheels that I found. It really looked funny on Drag Bug, but it was all I had at the time. So now that here, I'll show you guys. Now that Drag Bug has got some takeoffs, Drag Bug's looking mint up there, as RC Guy Garage would say. So sitting on some real front runners, and I'll show you what the other front runners look like. See how small they are? So it's definitely nice having a 1/10 scale drag wheel. These are purple. These are hard to find right now, the clay. So I only have golds for the rear, but these aren't glued down right now. I am going to put golds on this. I don't want to run the softer purple one for Drag Bug. I'll save those for ones I really want to run fast. I definitely run purples in the front to give it that grip on turning. So I try to save the purples for the front, but they run out really quick. But my tire choice for the rear is either gold or purple. Purple's a little softer, and on the gold, it's a S3 compound. On the purple, for the setup for clay, it's just they'll balloon a little more, but the grip is a lot better, and they'll hold on 3S, which is what I like. These hold, 3 and 4S, so these are pretty good, the golds. And they do work. You got to get them hotter. So I run golds on watermelon, which I like. So figured I'd turn on the camera while I'm doing this, since I've been all day getting all my drag cars put back together. Before I ordered parts, I took some parts off some of my other drag cars to see if they would work. So now I'm just putting the parts back that I borrowed for test fitting, so that I can order the right parts and not end up with a pile of parts sitting in my bin. I did order extra tires. I always order extra tires, because you will be going through these slicks. So rather than putting a used set of slicks on this Nova, I figured I would just put a new set, since the ones I ran on it last time, I only ran the rears once. But they are broke in now, and they're getting good traction. So I just figured I'd share this with you guys. A lot of guys are liking some of these repair videos. I wish Proline would have put the seal up here like Duratrax and does with their tires. But I will put tires I'm not using back in the bag so that they don't dry rot. Your tires will dry rot. So if you do put them on the stands like that, either get them off or get the tires off. Or I have some that aren't on stands. I rotate those constantly. They're never sitting in one spot for a week. They're constantly being moved. It's best if you could pull the wheels, or put them all on stands. I don't have enough stands, I do normally put them, I have extra tires there. I'll throw my speed cars up on those extra tires, ones that are wore out and ones that I don't use, so I do save them and do that. So, but thanks for watching this little clip. I'm going to get to fixing this paint job, seeing if I can match it as best I could with the green I have left over. And yeah, make sure to save the paint, make sure to clean them out so that you can use it on the next time. Thanks for watching, guys.